Welcome to Orvieto, a true gem of a town. The first thrill of arriving here is taking the funicular, which carries you from the parking lot and the train station at the base of the hill all the way up to Orvieto, which is perched high on its rocky plateau. This town is packed with history, art, and incredible places to explore, not to mention some of the most delicious cuisine in central Italy. Now, where else to begin but with the most majestic sight in town? The Duomo of Orvieto. Maybe because it stood in an unassuming square, or maybe it was the way it suddenly appeared as I turned a narrow street, or perhaps it was its towering presence with intricate decoration and golden mosaics. I do not know, but whatever the reason, the moment that the Duomo of Orvieto came into view, it truly took my breath away. As you start to recover from the shock of its beauty, you'll notice its striking Gothic architecture. Step inside and you'll find the magic continues. History, legends, and incredible works of art fill every corner of this masterpiece. Now, do you want to know what many say inspires Michelangelo's Sistine chapels? Look no further than the incredible fresco cycle by Luca Signorelli. Located inside the Duomo in the Chapel of San Brizio, these paintings depict the Last Judgment and the resurrection of the flesh in a way that feels almost cinematic. The scenes are so dynamic and expressive that they seem to come alive, bringing the biblical story of life right before your eyes. Another incredible treasure inside this church is the holy miraculous relic that inspired the very construction of the Duomo, the Corporal of Bolsena, which is an altar cloth said to bear the marks of this miraculous event. But what is the story behind this relic? According to tradition, a priest named Peter of Prague had long struggled with doubts about the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist. Though deeply devoted and pious, he found it difficult to fully accept that the bread and wine truly became the body and blood of Christ during Mass. Seeking reassurance, he set out on a pilgrimage from Prague to Rome, hoping to strengthen his faith at the tomb of St. Peter. On his journey back home, Peter stopped in the village of Bolsena, not far from Orvieto, and celebrated Mass at the local church. It was during this very Mass that something extraordinary happened. The consecrated host began to bleed, and drops of blood fell onto the altar cloth. Obviously, this event stunned and overwhelmed Peter, who realized at the moment that all his doubts had vanished. He was now completely convinced of Christ's real presence in the Eucharist. News of the miracle spread quickly, reaching Pope Urban IV, who was in Orvieto at that time. As soon as he heard about what happened in Bolsena, he knew this was something of great significance. The Pope immediately sent a delegation of church officials to investigate the miracle. Once they confirmed its authenticity, the blood-stained corporal was brought to Orvieto. And just a few years later, in 1290, the Pope ordered the construction of the Duomo of Orvieto, specifically designed to preserve and honor the sacred relic. And that's exactly where you can find it today inside the Duomo, in the Chapel of the Corporal. While visiting Orvieto, I especially loved wandering through its charming streets and lively squares, discovering unique little shops, stopping for a gelato or some delicious local sweet, and just soaking in the atmosphere of this incredible town. I also discovered a walk along the top of Orvieto's original city walls, offering a unique perspective of the town and the countryside beyond. This elevated path allows you to follow the fortifications from above, taking in breathtaking panoramic views. It is the perfect spot for a peaceful stroll and for capturing stunning photos of the surrounding landscape. Orvieto is not just what you see on the surface. There is another town hidden beneath with a history of its own. It is Orvieto Underground. Now, the only way to explore Orvieto Underground is with a guided tour, and it was well worth it. During the tour, you'll walk through ancient tunnels and chambers carved into the volcanic rock, discovering how these underground spaces were used over the centuries. For instance, in Etruscan areas, these were passageways. Then in medieval time, they were used as cellars to store wine and even to make olive oil. You can still see millstone presses and storage areas that were used for this purpose. To arrive in more modern area during wartime, where people used them as shelters. Before we move to the next stop, here is something you should know. Around the year 1200, the papacy frequently moved between cities for safety and strategic reasons. Orvieto was an ideal choice because of its height and naturally fortified locations. But there was one big problem: water supply. Being perched on a volcanic plateau with a porous surface, Orvieto had no natural water source, and even storing rainwater was difficult. This became a major concern, especially in the event of a siege where the town could be cut off from supplies. To solve this, the Pope commissioned the construction of a very deep well, the St. Patrick's Wells, or Pozzo di San Patrizio in Italian, and that's exactly where we're headed next. Now, this is not just any well. St. Patrick's Well is something special. Built in the 1500s, it was dug 50 meters deep to ensure the town would always have access to fresh water, no matter what. But here is the cool part. Instead of just one staircase, there are two, spiraling down like a double helix. They look like they are connected, but they actually never cross. This way, donkeys could carry water up and down without bumping into each other. Now, imagine walking down and seeing someone else coming up, but never meeting them. Pretty clever, huh? Oh, and why is it called St. Patrick's Well? Well, legend says it reminded people of an Irish cave called St. Patrick's Purgatory, which was believed to be the entrance to the underworld. Spooky, huh? If you have time and love seeing places from above, don't miss the Torre del Moro, or Tower of the Moor in English, for a 360-degree view of Orvieto. Standing 47 meters tall in the heart of the city, it offers a breathtaking panorama. You can take the elevator up, but if you have indulged in a little too much pasta and gelato, maybe the stairs are a good way to shed off those extra calories. Either way, even with the elevator, you still have to climb the final stretch by foot to reach the top. But trust me, it's totally worth it. Spending the night in Orvieto has been a fascinating experience. The town feels completely different after dark. Quiet, mysterious, and almost like a fairy tale. The streets glow under the soft lantern lights, and with fewer people around, it feels like you have the whole place to yourself. Orvieto has a great selection of restaurants, but if you're aiming for one of the best, you might want to book ahead. They tend to fill up quickly. I got lucky though. Even without a reservation, I was first in line when they opened for dinner, and what a treat it was.